It's well known that Raid Shadow Legends is an extremely pay-to-win game that offers many different kinds of purchase options. A lot of them are going to be seeming extremely attractive, but today we're going to be going over what I would recommend you buying in order to really get a good value for your money when playing this game. Hello, my name is Midway and I welcome you to this video. Hopefully after going through this you'll have a better idea of what your money really is worth spending into the game, and we can actually get a good assessment of a good value versus just random cash grabs. So let's go. I'm a fairly new player to Raid Shadow Legends myself. I've only been playing for about 3 weeks, and in that time I've already amounted to spend about 400 euros, something like that, right? And I've been offered plenty of packs like this one when you just log into the game and you get the random pop-ups, or at very convenient times where somehow the game kind of seems to know what you need at that point in time, right? So yes, I've kind of bought plenty of different things. I've bought packs that just pop up, I've bought things for events, I've bought things for just overall long-term value. Let's just go ahead and assess a little bit of that. So here's where I'm currently standing at. I've, as I said, already got about 3 weeks of playtime into the game. My team right now looks something like this. I've got very little power overall. I only got about a full team setup that's like strong enough to do anything else. Everything else is just little projects and overall just random people that I've bought, which I haven't really even gotten the requirements to actually build into a team, right? Like investing into a champion to get it up and running takes a lot of effort as well as money, and that is one of the traps that I want to be talking about today, is the kind of money investing that's not really going to take you too far overall. That's really just going to be momentary cash grabs for the game. Instead, you want to be focusing on things that provide long-term value. First and foremost, what do I think that is extremely worth buying is initially you're going to be offered a battle pass. It's not live right now for me because I already bought it, but you're going to be offered a battle pass for a specific champion. For me, in this case, it was for Rector Draft, right? You could just go ahead and get him instantly, as well as get him pretty much up and running with everything you were offered in that battle pass. That battle pass had, what was it, like about 20 bucks? It was extremely good value. You could just straight up get one champion. It didn't have to be Rector Draft. Of course, you would also get him, but you could just get all the resources you get out of that pack and use them in another champion. And that's exactly what I did. I just spent everything else. I don't really know who I actually invested it into. I think it was a Kentum, right? So I took all of that and I got a Kentum from somewhere else, and I got a Kentum sort of up and running. You might still realize that he's not that powerful, but I did a little bit of an investment into him and he actually got, well, kind of ready. I got him all these masteries. I am now working on his skills, although I used skill books on another champion. I used them on Bogoth because I kind of just was already doing that. And then, of course, I got pretty much everything else to ascend him, getting all the way up, upgraded all the stars, leveled up, yada, 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 right? I definitely think that kind of pack, it's only going to be coming once, basically, because it got so much value to it, and it's supposed to be an entry-level kind of purchase. You should definitely try to go for it. Something else that I've bought recently, and that I think is pretty much mandatory, I would say, if you are wanting to play this game regularly in any capacity, is the daily energy pack, right? The daily energy is basically all you need to just be able to actually play the game, right? As soon as you are out of energy, you're out of being able to do anything. So I bought this. It didn't actually cost me too much. I don't really remember it, but I think it was somewhere along the lines of the daily gem pack. It might have been closer to 20 bucks. I'm not sure. We'll talk about the daily gem pack in a moment. But the daily energy pack offers an insane amount of overall energy. As you can see, every 7 days you're going to be getting about, what is it, 700 close to it energy, and then every other day is going to be just about 225. You also get a little bit of the auto multi-battle thing, and yeah, every 7 days, as I mentioned, it's going to be repeating, so you're going to be getting another big boost of energy for that day in particular. Overall, this amounts to, I think it was somewhere like 3000 energy, just like raw energy, and then you got also the energy refills. So I don't know if it was like somewhere like 5,000 energy, and you get these over 14 days, right? It's like half a month, pretty much half a working days month, something like that. I do think that this is definitely kind of mandatory. It's simply very good value. It allows you to just do a lot of other things in the game, and I couldn't really tell you what the best thing would be to do with your energy, but that would be a whole different other topic, and it would depend on many other things. But I think for your money's value, this is definitely a must. The daily gem pack is a very similar one, and that I do think that actually brings better very much very good value for the money that it costs, right? So it's only gonna be 12 bucks at least in euros, and of course gems can be used for pretty much anything in the game. You're gonna be able to buy yourself full energy refills more often than not. Those are very good value, but I would rather have the energy refill pack do that for me instead, right? That's why I'm buying it. I shouldn't really be worrying too much about having enough energy to just go about my daily chores if I'm already spending money in getting energy just day by day, right? So instead of actually doing that with your gems, you could of course also buy like big shard packs. That's like decent value for the amount of gems you're spending. In case that is like an active summon event where you would need a lot of ancient shards, that's good value momentarily. But what I would really recommend doing with your gems is to straight up just go ahead and buy the daily gem pack, and that is going to be able to almost afford you full masteries for 3 champions, right? You can just go ahead and do your champions here, do your masteries. So for example, let's picture Oella, right? If I want to go ahead and unlock all her masteries right now, I would need to spend 800 gems. But if instead I'm going to be going to the Minotaur and farming it all out, right? I'm going to be spending a lot of energy farming the Minotaur. It's going to be taking me a whole damn long time to be able to get there, especially if you're not even able to do the highest level just yet, which I'm kind of able to do at this point almost, right? I'm getting there, but yes, farming the hell out of this would take an insane amount of time. And don't get me wrong, if you go ahead and farm the Minotaur to get the scrolls, you're also going to be getting XP. And in the meantime, well, you're going to be actually getting better value in total, right? Actually farming your scrolls would be somewhere along the lines of 640 gems worth of energy if you do it for all your champions instead of like actually spending those gems for the champions. But what about time, right? What about using that energy to farm money instead, right? So yes, you are getting the energy and you want to be spending it in the best ways possible, which is probably leveling up champions quickly for the campaign, especially if you're a new player, or actually getting money or gear, and you just let the daily gem pack do the job for you for the sake of actually just unlocking those masteries, right? That's what I would personally do. Now it does take a little bit of time for this to actually go through, right? It's a whole 30 days time that this actually goes through, so it's not like you're gonna be getting this right now, but it's a good basis of just to let it do itself. And as the month happens, you're gonna be able to eventually upgrade almost 3, because it's gonna be taking you 800 times 3 to actually upgrade 3 champions full masteries. So you're gonna be able to almost be there, right? You'll also be getting gems for free elsewhere, so you're gonna be able to just go ahead and use that, get the champions fully mastered up, and you are just forgetting about that whole aspect of the game. At least that is if you don't really want to be rushing it or anything like that. Well, this is a way of actually doing it automatically for you for only 12 bucks, right? That is not even bad. That is like 4 euros per champion you're fully mastering up. So think about it like that. Would you pay 4 euros to just get your champions masteries done? I would. So yeah, this is a way of doing it. I think it goes without saying that the raid cards, like the monthly or 6 months time raid card, is worth it, right? It's definitely gonna be worth it. Anything that has to do with just step up in your overall progression in the game, right? 20% more XP, 20% more silver from campaign battles. Straight up, you just go ahead and farm the campaign as you would generally do to boost up your food characters, so you can then level up other characters. Yeah, just being able to do this and have it up and running all the time, at least for like 6 months. I would rather buy the 6 months one. I only bought the 1 month at first because I just recently started playing the game. But yeah, if I'm gonna be committing to it, I would definitely go for it. You're gonna be getting the same thing, it's just better value if you just buy the 6 months one. Of course, the multi-battle attempts, also insanely important. It's actually a pain in the ass if you're gonna be leveling up your champions to manually have to click every time you want to be doing a run of the stage 3 in Act 12. You'd rather just let it running for, I don't know, an hour, and then you've done 100 runs and all your energy is spent and all your champions are now leveled up and ready to be fused and stuff, right? So this is pretty much mandatory if you want to get good value in general. Just in terms of efficiency, this would be ideal to have just for the sake of leveling up more things, getting more money out of your runs, etc, etc. And it kind of falls into the same category. It's just like having an XP boost active, right? I do have one for 3 weeks because I got showered in rewards when I first started playing the game. You get a lot of these passively in many ways, from events, from doing missions, quests, from buying packs as well. Usually comes with something else, as well as just like with the general daily login and rewards and such and such and such. I think I just got one a few days ago for like 3 days, right? So those are pretty much going to be up and running naturally, especially if you're doing any kind of spending into the game. But if you don't have one, I mean, it's definitely mandatory, I would say, in terms of efficiency, efficiency to go ahead and just buy one for 3 days for a bunch of gems. I would definitely recommend spending any amount of money it requires, right? You're gonna be able to get it from many different ways, but if you actually find yourself without one, you should kind of feel like you need to go ahead and buy something if you're really trying to maximize your efficiency. Although, don't actually just go ahead and spend a whole lot of money in gems just to buy a bunch of XP boosts. There's gonna be ways of getting XP boosts while also getting more value for your money. One very obvious one is going to be to buy certain events, right? Buy into them whenever they are active for like summon events in particular. It's a chance, right? It's never guaranteed to actually get anything good out of it, but there will be certain events where you can sort of really put your chances all the way up there if you do a little bit of spending. So we talked about the ancient shard packs for gems, right? It's a very good time to actually buy little packs that will also include some gems, right? Or just focus on gem spending for the sake of actually trying to guarantee yourself a champion, right? In this case, it's not going to be guaranteed in any case, but the chances are going to be a lot higher if you do try to do these kinds of spendings during the event's time. There's also a very obvious one, and that is the summon pools, right? There's a current one with the Sylvan summons, and I did a video a couple days ago participating in it. I spent 120 euros really hoping to get a legendary, and it actually didn't happen. That is the bad thing of all these gambles, or it's basically a gacha, right? But you can also guarantee at least to get yourself a whole lot of epics. Do I think I got my money's worth, 120 euros for a bunch of epics? Probably not. But, I mean, I was just hoping to get a lot of stuff, right? Hopefully a legendary and just a lot of champions in general. So I think at the current state in the game that I am, I didn't really get that screwed up. I think it wasn't that terrible. Then if I was going to be spending that money in other kinds of more specific packs, which we'll get in a second, I wouldn't have gotten that much money's worth for what I spent, right? So these kinds of events, I would definitely try to like focus on things like this. Double chance of getting legendary champions, or I don't know, progressive chances towards getting one specific champions. If you're going to be like feeling like gambling it out, try to do so whenever there's an active summon event. Otherwise, you're definitely taking lesser chances of actually getting anything out of putting that money into the game. Something I do not recommend doing by any means is buying the packs of shards. Now, these are extremely expensive and they almost offer one shard for 6 euros. The value of it is actually pretty low, but again, if you're really focusing on one specific event, you know the game is going to be offering you specific event packs, which will include a lot of shards along the way, which will also check it in a second. But these ones over here, I would recommend to never look at them. I think they are terrible value, as well as the ones over here. Just never really even look at them unless you're really like targeting mythic tomes. I think even those are terrible value in specific, right? So never even check out these two. And from the gem shop, again, we talked about this, only full energy and only XP boosts if you're really feeling like you need one, and maybe even some big shard packs. Like this one is not that terrible if there is a shard event going on, but other than that, those three categories out of the way, don't even check them out. So here we get to the section about the kinds of packs which are going to be very cash grabby, and what I mean by that is they're going to be coming as you kind of really feel like you need this at the current time, and that is the idea the game has for you, right? As soon as I unlocked the soul system, I'm getting showered in offers that are going to be including souls, right? As soon as I'm lacking energy, I'm going to be showered with offers that offer me energy. You're going to find those on the limited special offers. Usually this also will be related to the current active events. So for example, there is a current double chance of summoning legendaries if you are using your sacred shards. So of course the game is going to be telling you, oh, you need to be buying this, right? Usually some of these will be pretty decent, right? One that I think that it's usually pretty good value is the rank 4 chickens. Now this one goes up and down in value quite a lot. You might find some of them that include a bigger quantity of chickens for a higher or lower price. I don't have the math for you, but these ones usually I would say are pretty worth if you're really looking to focus and upgrade one specific champion at the time, right? Let's just say you got a new champion and you really want to be putting it up there and you don't have the mats for it. You're going to be showered in these kinds of offers where you're going to be able to really like just go ahead and do massive upgrades. You're going to be finding all sorts of things. One of the ones that I was talking about that the game just throws at you as soon as you unlock a new system, or as soon as it feels like you need something like that, is going to be, for example, this one, this soul deal, which I'm not going to be buying. Obviously, if I really wanted to put my soul system up there and invest a little bit into it, I can, but I don't think these ones are usually worth it, right? Those are the kind of systems which you're just going to be requiring to progress through naturally through the game, and the best way to do that is by just having more energy and being efficient with your energy and money, like silver generation in general, and being just like going through your daily grind, really just farming things out. You are of course going to be able to whale it out and just buy everything. In that case, we wouldn't be talking about good deals, right? We wouldn't be talking about good value. You would rather just buy everything that comes into your screen, but we're not really talking about that. For example, like this one, for example, I think it's extremely good value. Look at how much energy you actually get for only about 18 bucks. Now you do get better value from the daily progression one, the daily energy. But if you're really like feeling like I want to be playing a raid today for, I don't know, 2 hours all evening, right? I don't have anything to do this Friday or whatever. These ones, this kind of packs, especially the energy ones, are very much worth your money. And there's gonna be a lot of these. For example, the kind of set directed packs, like you're gonna be offered a massive set of gear that's gonna be looking insanely flashy. If you're really looking to deck out a character in this one set in particular, I've been really tempted to actually go ahead and do it, but you never know what kind of stats you're gonna be getting in this, right? It might just be totally like very bad stats, right? You're also getting almost no money, which you're gonna be requiring a lot of to get them all the way up to level 16, and then you only get one legendary chaos ore to actually reforge your stats on this thing. I don't really think this is worth it, but if you just got a new character and you actually know that that set is the best one on them, maybe consider it. But I wouldn't say this is a good value, because you most definitely are going to be totally screwed up on the stats on the gear, and you'd probably put somewhere that's a lower tier just for the sake of actually getting good stats on it. And then yeah, you're going to be showered with multiple packs, which are just going to be very fitting for whatever you are currently doing, usually in the limited time offer section. So I want to especially mention the beginner and veteran progress passes here. Terrible value, don't buy them ever. I mean, $60 just for, what is it, 1,000 gems, 1 void shard, 1 sacred shard, and 3 ancient shards? Hell no, man, screw that. What about the veteran progress one? Yeah, not even close. Like, it's 10 ancient shards, which is the blue ones, 3,000 gems, 3 void shards, and 1 sacred for 120 euros? Man, get out of here. No, hell no, never buy those. Also, a lot of these starter packs and founder packs, this one in particular, terrible value. Look what you're getting from it, nothing. Starter pack, I mean, this one is actually not too terrible. You get a little bit of everything that's worth early on, and it's like only $12. I would actually consider this one. It's pretty much always going to be there for everybody. And then you are also going to be getting some of these daily shards, right? You're going to be getting some shards every couple days. I don't think this one is that bad value either. At least you get some energy as well as some gems from this one. So in particular, all these daily kind of packs, I think they are worth your money. They're not that expensive, and they at least guarantee you some stuff that's always going to be useful. In particular, this one, I don't know, a little bit debatable. It does have a sacred shard in it, but it's actually a little bit expensive, and it's only going to be up for 7 days, so you don't get that many things out of it. This monthly pack is basically just like the sacred daily, but it's just like a one-time purchase and you got it all at once. So same kind of deal. That you just want it all at once, then maybe go ahead and buy it. But you actually get better value. You get more energy, you get a little bit less gems, and you don't get the money, the silver I mean, but you do get basically the same amount of shards. Yeah, I don't know, those two are a little bit debatable, I would say. Then there's the skin packs. I mean, never buy this, at least you really want to be putting something on that champion. This is a rare champion, $12 for a skin on this champion. Why would you ever do that? It doesn't provide pretty much anything, it's just visual. And then there's pretty much going to be a mix of packs that are going to be limited time, like this one for example, which have just randomly basically everything you need. I wouldn't say this is like worth anything. I mean, it's just like generally buying random stuff in the store. You probably want to be buying this if it really suits you at that point in time, but you gotta resist the temptation and only focus on buying the things that really provide overall long-term consistent value to your efficiency and your progression. And that's pretty much it. I think that I've covered basically all the packs there is in the game. I'm sure I missed some more stuff, but we'll talk about those at a further time. Now, if you're gonna be buying anything in the game, you might as well do so through Aptoide if you got into this point, right? So Aptoide is just like Google Play. You download games like Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide, and once you do buy things through Raid Shadow Legends when you play through Aptoide, what's going to happen is that you're going to be prompted to do the payment through the Aptoide wallet. Now, the Aptoide wallet allows you to get cashbacks when you do the purchases that can go from extra 10% of your money all the way up to 35%, right? So as you can see right here, if I was going to be buying this pack, I'm going to be getting 20 cents back as a bonus, right? Let's go ahead and try that out with a much bigger pack. Let's say you're going to be spending 60 euros. Let's see what the cashback would be with the current bonus that I have unlocked, right? I will be getting 13.20, 13 euros 20 cents as a cashback, right? So as you can see, you can increase that all the way up to 35%. And the idea of this whole thing is that once you do have enough of those cashbacks or the bonuses, you're actually going to be able to use them to make the purchases for you without actually using your real money, right? So you can use your Aptoide balance to do the purchase instead of using the money in your bank account. So if you're going to be doing this, go ahead and check out the guide down there in the description about how to set it all up. It takes like 5 minutes. It's extremely easy. In any case, if you're going to be doing it, check out my code. Is going to be here on the screen as well as down in the description. If you use my code in the Aptoide wallet, you're going to be able to get an increased bonus of 5% from the get-go, so you can start earning even more value for your money right away, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comment section. Is there anything that I missed missed out about the good value for some packs in this game. In any case, hopefully you liked the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, see you.